was just before dawn on a freezing December morning in Kinver, England. Inside a large 5-bedroom home, the noise and excitement of the night before had faded into an eerie stillness. At the foot of the staircase, a young woman lay lifeless. Her body told a story of violence, deep bruises, cuts, and injuries that could never be explained away as an accident. Only hours earlier, the house had been filled with celebration, alcohol, and reckless choices. Now it stood as the silent witness to a devastating tragedy. The man who shared the home with her, a millionaire property developer, would later claim that all he could do was walk away. What began as a night of fun ended in irreversible destruction. Behind closed doors, decisions were made. Decisions that would change countless lives forever. This is the story of Natalie Connelly. Natalie grew up in a modest working-class family. Life was never easy, but she faced every challenge with determination and a smile that lit up any room she entered. Her friends remembered her as the person who could lift your spirits simply by being there. She loved deeply, cared fiercely, and lived with a warmth that people never forgot. But her world revolved around one person, her young daughter. Natalie wasn't just a mother. She was a dedicated protector, constantly striving to build a stable and loving life for her child. Every hope she carried, every plan she made, was for her daughter's future. On the opposite end of the story stood John Broadhurst, a wealthy property developer worth around £15 million. From the outside, his life looked polished and enviable. Designer suits, expensive cars, luxurious homes. But beneath the glossy surface was a history filled with questionable choices. He had recently ended a long relationship, abandoning his pregnant fiancée only weeks before she was due to give birth. His charm masked flaws that only those closest to him ever noticed. Natalie met John in the summer of 2016 at a local pub. Their connection was instant. For Natalie, it felt like stepping into a different world, one filled with glamour, money, and attention she had never experienced. Their relationship moved quickly. Soon, she moved into his large, rented home in Kinver, surrounded by luxuries she once only dreamed of. John showered her with gifts: a new BMW, spending money, promises of exotic holidays. They talked about spending Christmas in Dubai. On social media, they looked like the perfect couple, smiling, traveling, living in comfort. He later claimed he couldn't lift her. He claimed he didn't realize how badly she was hurt. So he left her at the foot of the stairs, alone, bleeding, and barely conscious. Then he went upstairs to bed. Natalie's life slowly slipped away through the night. The next morning, around 9:25 a.m., John finally called emergency services. Paramedics found Natalie cold, unresponsive, and covered in injuries. Her blood alcohol level was nearly 4 times the legal driving limit. Combined with her wounds, her body simply could not survive the night without medical attention. Investigators immediately knew this was not an accident. Each injury told a story of neglect and violence. The more they uncovered, the clearer the truth became. An autopsy revealed that Natalie's internal injuries were catastrophic. Investigators also learned about the couple's lifestyle: nights fueled by heavy drinking, drugs, and extreme behavior that often went far beyond safe boundaries. John admitted he saw her injuries. He admitted he knew she was vulnerable. He admitted he left her lying there. And that choice cost Natalie her life. John Broadhurst was charged with manslaughter through gross negligence. Prosecutors argued he had a clear duty of care, a responsibility to protect her, or at the very least, call for help. But instead, he walked away. He pleaded guilty. The court accepted the plea, and in December 2018, he was sentenced to 3 years and 8 months in prison. For many, it felt like an outrage, a betrayal, a failure of justice. Natalie's family sat in court, shattered. They described her as a loving daughter, a devoted mother, a woman full of dreams. Her twin sister said, losing Natalie felt like losing half of herself. The sentence felt unbearably small for a life lost in such a horrific way. To her family, it was another wound, one delivered by the justice system. People across the UK questioned whether John's wealth and social status had influenced the outcome. Would the sentence have been the same if he hadn't been a millionaire? Would justice look different if the roles were reversed? Natalie's story forces us to confront uncomfortable truths. How dangerous behaviors can escalate. How privilege can shape justice. How silence and neglect can be as deadly as violence itself. Her death is a reminder of the weight of our choices and the devastating consequences that can follow. What do you think? Was justice served, or should the consequences have been far harsher for the choices that led to Natalie's death? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching Blind Crimes. If you follow true crime, shocking investigations, and cases that shook the UK, make sure to subscribe and join us as we uncover more hidden stories and dark truths.